Hey everyone, and welcome. Look, in a world where we're constantly flooded with information, being able to read, well, that's not just a nice to have, it's basically a superpower. Today, we're going to get into how you can actually build that skill, to read faster, learn more, and remember what you read. We're not talking about vague tips here. We're building a personal blueprint, a structured, measurable way to completely transform your reading.
Does this look familiar? That stack of books on your nightstand, the dozens of articles you've saved to read later, the reports piling up at work? It can feel like this mountain you can never, ever climb. You are definitely not alone. But what if you had a plan to actually conquer it? Well, that is exactly what this is all about. We are going to build a clear, actionable plan. Seriously, by the end of this, you'll have the tools to stop feeling overwhelmed and start reading with real purpose and efficiency. Okay, let's dive in.
First things first, before we can build anything, we need to survey the land, right? The absolute foundation of any improvement plan is understanding where you stand right now.
This quote just nails it. You can't chart a course to your destination if you don't even know your starting point. So our first step isn't about speed or some fancy technique, it's simply about awareness.
So, how do we create that awareness? It comes down to self-monitoring. We're going to become the architects of our own progress by tracking just two critical metrics that really define what it means to be a good reader.
And these are the two pillars, speed and comprehension. Now, it's so tempting to only focus on speed, but think about it. Reading 1,000 words a minute is completely useless if you don't understand any of it. They have to be measured and improved together.
So how do you find your pace? It's way simpler than you think. Just follow these 5 steps. Grab a book or an article, something not too easy, not too hard. Read comfortably for 5 minutes, and then just do the quick math. This number isn't a grade, it's just your starting line, that's all.
And for that second pillar, comprehension. What does that really mean? It's just your ability to grab the meaning. A simple, really powerful way to test this right after your 5-minute reading sprint is to just stop and try to summarize the main points out loud. Could you explain the core idea to a friend? That's your comprehension check.
Okay, so you found your starting line with your WPM and a sense of your comprehension. Now, it's time to chart the course forward by setting some goals.
And this is so crucial. We're not aiming to double your reading speed overnight. That's just a recipe for burnout and frustration. The real secret to sustainable improvement is setting small, realistic targets. Progress is a marathon, not a sprint.
And this chart shows exactly what a realistic goal looks like. If your baseline is, say, 250 words per minute, aiming for 275 next week, that's a 10% increase, is a fantastic target. It's challenging enough to push you, but totally achievable. This is how you build momentum.
Now we get to the really practical part. We have a baseline and we have a goal. It's time to connect them with a real plan that turns your blueprint into daily or weekly action.
Take a look at this sample plan. This is how you put it all together. Notice how specific it is. It's not just read more, it's read a news article for 15 minutes on Monday, aiming for a small speed increase, and then test comprehension by summarizing it. This structure provides direction and makes your practice truly intentional.
So you've measured, you've set goals, and you've started your plan. What's next? Well, the final phase is about turning this whole process into a habit, creating a path to true mastery.
And it all comes down to this simple, beautiful loop. At the end of each week, you briefly remeasure, you see your progress, you set a new small goal for the next week, and you just keep going. This cycle of feedback and adjustment is what builds a lasting skill.
And it's so important to remember this. What we've built here isn't a magic trick or some temporary fix. It's a framework for continuous improvement. It's a skill that will serve you for the rest of your life, in every area where learning and knowledge matter.
So, there you have it. The baseline, the goals, the plan, and the loop for mastery. You are now the architect of your own literacy. The only question left is, what new worlds of knowledge will you build for yourself?